Welcome to Homemaking with Mima. My name is Wendy, and we're going to be doing a canning project today. If you've seen in my grocery haul, I ordered some extra carrots kind of by mistake, but sometimes mistakes can benefit you, so that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to can up some carrots, and I'm going to bring you along, so let's go get this done. So here you're seeing me, I am prepping my jars, soapy water with a splash of vinegar in it, to get them all cleaned up and prepped for the canning project. Then I am putting the recommended water level in my pressure canner, per my canner's manufacturer suggestion. I use my canning tool that I've put a permanent marker line on, and then that helps me with measuring how much water that get it to the correct level. Then after I soak my carrots in vinegar water to help kill any bacteria on them, I peel them. Unfortunately, if you leave the peelings on and if there are any kind of blemishes or sediment on the peelings, that could cause a bad product. So caution in that. Just, the best thing to do is just to peel your carrots. I do save my peelings, and I freeze them for future stock. And I was actually able, you'll see here, that I was actually able to get a full gallon size bag of peelings for future stock. I then made sure that I washed my carrots again after peeling them, just to have the best product that I possibly could before I can them up. For canning the carrots, it is recommended to cut them approximately 1 inch pieces. And so I did my best. And then the smaller parts of the carrot that were too small to can, I cut them separately, and that's going to just be some fresh eating for us. And I almost forgot, put a splash of vinegar in your canner. If it just helps prevent that residue haze on your jars. And then here I am prepping my lid and my canner per the manufacturer instructions. I have an All-American canner. It is metal on metal. There's no rubber seal. So I have to prep it with an oil or petroleum jelly, which I use the petroleum jelly. And I'm prepping my lid and my canner for that. Then you're going to see here that I boiled up some water and I am soaking my lids, very warm water to help soften them. I still do this even though it doesn't recommend it for your pressure canning. And then with clean hands, I'm placing my carrots into the pint jars up to the 1 inch headspace, which is recommended. I will be doing a raw packing, so it's a cold canner. Um, and that means cold canner, cold product, and room temperature jars. Well, everything room temperature. I shouldn't say cold. Um, so that way, then when you get it into the canner, everything is room temperature. And then you're going to start your process out there. It will take a little longer for your canner to come up to the temperature, but this is one way you can do it. You can do hot pack or you can do, they call it cold pack, but it's everything's room temperature. And so that's what I'm going to be doing with mine. To understand what I'm talking about, the best thing for you to do is to read up on canning. That's what I did. You can use books, you can go online and read, or you can do what I've done as well. I have watched YouTubers as well. I am not a seasoned canner. I've mentioned that before. I've only been canning for 4 years. But there are people out there that have been canning their whole life. But read as much as you can to understand anything that you don't understand I'm trying to explain here today. So here I'm showing you the 1 inch mark that you can check on your jar to that lid. And then I am also um, this canning tool that I have. It helps not only to debubble, but also on the end, it's made to assist for measuring jar headspace. These carrots require a 1 inch headspace, and I am pointing out that part of the tool here for you. So be sure that you also debubble for the best sealing practices as well. So here you're going to be seeing me, I'm placing my liquid in there, which is just room temperature water. And then you're also going to see me use my utensil to debubble the jar. And what you're doing is you're getting any air pockets out of there so that you have the best quality product that's not going to push your seal or your lid up, so that you have a good seal. So be sure to debubble as well when you have a solid item in there. Liquid, you don't have to debubble, but if you have a solid in there at all, be sure that you debubble it for the best product possible. Then before I place the lids on, I'm going to take a paper towel that has some vinegar on it, and I'm just going to wipe the top of the lids. And that's just good practice to do to make sure you get anything off of the top of the lids. So then you're going to see me placing the lids on. And once I get the lids on, then you're going to see me putting the rings, and I'm going to go fingertip tight. And I use the 2 fingers and the thumb, so that way they're not cranked on there. You just want them fingertip tight before you place them into the canner. Once you have the bottom layer done, then your canner, if your canner is big enough, you should have a second rack that you can put on top of those cans, and then you can place your any jars that you have left over on the top part. So that's what I am doing here. And my canner is big enough to hold 2 layers of pints. And quarts, you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd have to have a bigger canner. Then here you're seeing me put on my lid, and for an all-American canner, you have to get it on there even. And I use this little tool here to help kind of move the canning lid to get it so it's all even all the way around before I actually pull up the latches and then screw them down. And I do them across from each other for an all-American canner. You do it across from each other, and then once you get them all on there, then you're going to screw them down tight before you actually turn your burner on so that you can start the canning process. So I'm going to be following the USDA home canning guide for the carrots, and you can find this free online, and the link will be in the description box below, or you can purchase it. Mine was ordered from Amazon. So once you bring it up to temperature, get it to boiling, you're going to want to vent the canner, and this is going to be it's called steaming out, and you're going to want to let it vent for 10 minutes. And then before you put your weight on. So then here, the 10 minutes is up, and then you're going to see me showing you my weight. And in my area, I have to do 10 pounds. So you're going to want to look up what you need for in your area. And you can look that up online or read it in a book. More than likely, you're going to find it online for your area. So for my 10 pounds, I have to get this gauge up to 240. So I'm going to wait for it to get to 240, and then here it is. It's up to 240. And then I'm going to turn my temperature down just a little bit once it gets to the 240, and then I'm going to set my timer for the recommended time for carrots, 25 minutes. And then I'm going to wait for it to finish processing. Then I actually you shut off your stove and you let this sit. You let it come off of pressure on its own. In fact, you want to let it sit for at least a couple of hours before you even try to loosen the lid here. And mine's already sat for like 3 hours. So, and don't try to cool it down at all. Let it sit. That's the best practice to do. And after that, then you can take off your lid, but then just let it put it at an angle and let it sit for about 15 minutes. And you're going to see that I'm going to do that here. Yeah, I'm having a tough time getting it off, but that's because it was pressuring. So I just take this little tool and just move my little bit so that I don't have to struggle. I have arthritis really bad, so and then I'm just going to angle the lid, and I'm going to let it sit there for 15 minutes and let it rest, and then I will be taking my jars out. And after the 15 minutes, then I remove the lid, and I get my jar lifter over there, and I take the lids, or I take the jars out of the canner, and now I have to walk them a bit. So I get a kitchen towel, and I place it underneath it so that hot water isn't dripping everywhere, and so I don't actually slip in it. So you're going to see me, I'm just going to grab a jar, and then I'm going to bring it over. I put mine on the table, and I place them on a towel, and that just helps because they're so hot coming out of there. And I actually have a cookie sheet underneath that towel, and you'll see that. It just helps. It's a good practice to do. And then after I get them all out of the canner, then you're going to see me. I'm going to put a little towel on them and I'm going to cover them up and tuck them in for the night. I'm going to let them sit overnight. And then the next day, I will take the rings off and check the seals. And then I will wash them up. And here it's the next day. I'm removing the lids, and then you're going to see me. I push down on each one and I lift up with the lid, just checking them. I give a good little look at them, and then I just scrub them real good with hot soapy water and a splash of vinegar in there. And then I just rinse them off and I go set them on a towel, let them dry a little bit, and then I'm going to label them. Here I am. I'm going to get ready to label them. I just put what's in the jar and I put the month and the year. You can put the actual day. I just don't do that anymore. I just put the month and you see they look really good. Just put the month and the year. And then I'm going to take them down into my pantry, and you just want to store them in a cool, dark place. That's the best practice for home canning. And I thought it turned out great today. I want to thank you for joining me today while I canned some of these carrots. Sometimes when you make a mistake, it can be a benefit to your mistake. During my grocery haul, I ordered 2 big bags of carrots, not just one. So it gave me the opportunity to can up some carrots. I got 9 pints of carrots that I can put on my shelf. And I was in need of them, so I'm not disappointed in that fact. Again, thank you for joining me. If you like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I want you to make it a great day.